lonely unicorn. Live to see faces too. I can see you in a bigger boat.
Getting away. Here I go, escape! Ring around the rose. You're such devout belief gone to waste. You would have fit perfectly with the rest of us. Bones, I think they can hide from me. You're nothing to me. You're never getting away. You're only delayed, the inevitable. Gone to waste. You would have fit perfectly with the rest of us. Round and round the cycle down you escape! Round and round the cycle repeats a pain. Never ending, all for me and eternal peace. Pop goes the weasel. They think they can hide from me. impudent mortal. Though you're nothing to me.